I got to tell you, it was an uneventful Super Bowl. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, absolutely. It was pretty boring. It was a lot of field position, and the commercials weren't that good, I didn't think.
I thought there were some good ones. I'm not one to be all negative. I mean, it could have been a blowout, right? I would rather not have seen a blowout.
Okay.
So I was okay with it. I thought the commercials were good, and
what commercials?
I
did you
liked. I can't remember. You can't ask me that.
Well, they're not memorable.
I do like the. I do think they were.
You like the Andy Warhol one? I know you would. Which I thought was stupid.
But that was just history more than anything else. I did like the one where he was going. I forgot the guy's name from the '70s show there. But he was going up the elevator, and it was for the car buying experience. I thought that was kind of a cool spot. It was funny, but it's hard because I don't know. I think we always come back and say, "Boy, they weren't as good as last year," and sometimes I really think they were never as good as you really thought they were. It's just it's hard to. I think it's human nature. That's just my take on it all.
What about the halftime show?
I liked it, and I'm reading this morning. It's been ripped on.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I think my brother texted me and said, "I hope he's not taking his pants off next." I'm a big fan of Maroon 5, and I liked it. I thought it was really good.
I'm a big fan of Maroon 5 too. I didn't think he sounded good the first song.
He didn't. If you listen to what happened, they had the audio screwed up. You were getting a dry feed on his mic. There was no background vocals at all. It was completely flat sounding. The first song sounded. You're right. It sounded bad. But it wasn't the band's fault. It was they had whoever was handling the sound, I think, screwed it up badly.
And then he got progressively better, and that makes sense what you said because they fixed whatever the issue was.
If you taped it, you go back and listen to it, you'll hear that first song. It was just like a dry feed that whatever was coming back before any effects or anything was put on it. That's what we were hearing. And you couldn't hear any background vocals.
And then
I didn't even know the song, to be honest with you.
I was shocked at the number of people who said, worst halftime show ever. Now, I think that applies what you said about the commercials. You always think it was so great, and then you're disappointed this year. I thought that applied to the halftime show because I didn't think it was spectacular, but I didn't think it was bad, and I like Maroon 5.
I didn't think it was bad at all. I like Maroon 5. I've seen him in concert before. He's unbelievably talented. He's got a great voice, although it did not sound it in that first song. But you're right. I think it comes back to that whole
what you said. Yeah.
And the other thing is too is he's more pop, and football it tends to be more of that. Like if it was when Tom Petty came out, there would be people that would complain. For most people were like, that is the best halftime show ever.
Yeah.
All right, and Tom Petty just kind of stood there and sang and did his thing, which was awesome for what it was. I guess I'm more of an optimistic. I look at things a little more optimistically. I don't know. Sometimes. Other times, I'm in a mood. Last night, I wasn't in the mood.
Can I say this about Tom Brady? And I said this, I teased this a little bit. I think he's the GOAT, and he's a sheep all at the same time.
All right.
He passes the ball now like, you remember Chad Pennington for the Jets, where every route was a 7-yard route because he couldn't move the ball? He cannot. People say this all the time. You got to go vertically down the field, which is such an oxymoron, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're going to go vertically when you're going down the field. But he can't get vertical. He can't throw the ball 15 yards down the field.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yet he gets it done.
That interception in the first half, I think, was a great example.
Yep.
He's only 10 yards down the field from the guy, but he's at an angle where he's throwing the long way to the sideline. And the defender's like, well, I'll just,
Wasn't it Romo that said at the end of the first half, Tom Brady has had a bad performance. It wasn't Romo. It was during the
Boomer
halftime
show.
It was. Had a really bad first half, and he really did. But the Rams just could not get any. That kid looked like a deer in headlights.
Yeah, Goff was really scared.
Yeah. Boy, oh
really
boy.
Scared.
And let's see. So,
shame on them. I feel so bad for the Rams defense. What a game they played.
Yeah.
Really. For 3 3/4 of a quarter, they played really, really well. And like true Patriots fashion, they find a way to win it at the end. But if I was that defense, I would be looking at that offense like, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, there was no offense.
I mean, to stop the Patriots offense they did.
I
was
felt like the fact that they were still in it, and it was, even being down by 7.
Right.
I'm like, wow, all they got to do is turn it on and get a little bit of offense, and they win this game easily. And they just never.
And he throws a pick in the red
could.
zone. I just.
Yeah. We got into squares, and I thought I had it made. We had 7-3. I mean, it was perfect. And then the Patriots missed the first field goal, but they ended up getting a field goal in the first quarter. So I'm like, we're here. And the Rams are marching down the field to squat.
Yeah,
nothing.
Well,
Terrible.
can I tell you a funny
Jeff
story
did
about
okay.
that? I didn't do okay. I did not hit a square, but my mother said, "Oh, I'll buy a son for Carter, right?" So don't you know, he has, and they draw different numbers for every quarter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been to one like this.
Yeah.
So his fourth quarter one was 3-3, so he won $1,000. My son, who's 3 years old.
That's
had
awesome.
3-3.
Take him to the track.
And
he won they scored different. They pulled different numbers.
They pulled different numbers.
Not like what we had.
Yeah.
He would have won again.
Yeah. Well, he won 3-3, and in this particular pool, the reverse paid. So he won another $300 on 3-3.
Wow.
The reverse of 3 is 3.
My son won $1,300 on a damn square.
That's cool. Yeah, the state will be there to take that money away.